place where we shape the next generation, place where we discuss issues like relationships, career and business advice, education and religious matters, and much, much more. So sit back, watch, and be informed. Your host is Laban Bithi.
Welcome. Good evening and welcome to our show tonight. It's a moment that we appreciate that you are getting tuned every time we come online. And we appreciate the time that you always take to be available, to listen, to share. And we are still coming back again. It's a JM Talk Forum where we bring news, we bring shows in career, in education, in relationships, in quite a number of aspects. And we are glad that we are taking part to be of this great movement. So welcome, sit back, remain tuned, and by the end of the day, we are greatly aware that it's going to be of a great blessing to you. My name is always Laban, and I'm happy that I'm the host tonight for this show. So we appreciate you so much. And today I'm joined once again by my friends. These are not new faces to us. And we are glad that you guys are taking time to come and to share your wisdom to the world. These are rare opportunities that people get, and it's a rare opportunity also for you, our viewer, or rather our listener, that you can get people who are releasing wisdom, people who are able to deviate their schedules to come and give something to you. And we are happy that you guys are finding time, you're getting to research, you're getting equipped so that you can help a generation that is coming. Mm-hmm. We are geared towards the youth, and we want to see guys grow and get to levels that are going to be of a great dependence, other than being, or rather of a great independence, other than being dependent. So we are going to introduce ourselves, and we want the guys who are watching to be able to know our names. To begin with my sister Maggie.
Good evening, viewers. My names are Margaret Muthoni Mwangi.
Wow, thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Isaac, as usual. I'm always looking forward to this day, because I know every time we come here, somebody is listening somewhere, somebody is gaining something, and their lives are transformed. So stay tuned, get something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Isaac and Maggie. And thank you for taking time to come and to share. Well, sometimes back we discussed about self-awareness, we discussed about self-esteem, and as we were discussing about waiting on God, we also discussed about building capacity. Mm-hmm. And we realized that all these elements are part of building capacity. Getting self-aware, getting your self-esteem aligned, so that as you build capacity, the elements are well embedded together. So today, the major area was about self-esteem, but touching deeper on self-awareness in a way that even as I yearn to have a strong self-esteem, I am aware and I am well much equipped, so that I will not just live, trying to have high self-esteem, but I've not discovered myself. Well, I've noticed once we don't discover ourselves, we are going to have a low self-esteem at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So, first, what I would like us to we discuss about today. One, what is the correlation between these two things? Self-esteem and self-awareness. What is the correlation that, rather, how can we be able to correlate the two? Maybe if I begin with you, Isaac.
I'm happy first to that you are revisiting the topics and even getting deeper, because I know the viewers, they have been asking questions.
Yeah.
And it's good when we get to a topic and clarify that we don't leave a viewer hanging somewhere without full information. So, and it's also an encouragement that whenever you have a question, you can always ask.
Yeah, sure.
That we're not locked. So anytime you can engage us, and we'll be able to give you more information. So when you talk about the self-awareness and self-esteem, these two words go together, and they both have self. So it boils back to me. So whenever a word has self, then it's me. And we're talking about self-awareness. Awareness is just simply means knowledge, knowing yourself, discovering yourself, understanding yourself better. When you're self-aware, when you know yourself, then now it builds up now what we call now the self-esteem. The self-esteem, the other time we talked about the value you attach to yourself. How much is your worth? What's your worth? So when you understand yourself, you're able to place a value on yourself. That and I say the other time, probably if you're a product today and you're taken to a market, how much would you cost? Like probably when I'm coming to buy you, at how much can I get you as a product?
Yeah, sure.
So it's the value that you attach to yourself, and that value now gives you like ability to, like it gives you the strength to move, because you already know yourself, you know your value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac, for the great understanding, the great insight that you have released. Maybe Maggie, try to understand the two. I understand that you are very much equipped even today in self-awareness. And even as we discuss these two elements, what's the correlation as per your understanding? What's the correlation between these two aspects? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, my friend Laban and Isaac. By the way, I was very happy and blessed as I listened to you. I learned a lot, and we are going to build up on that.
Sure.
Now, there is a lot of correlation between self-esteem and self-awareness, and one is dependent on the other.
Yeah.
Self-esteem depends on self-awareness in this aspect. As he said,
Yeah.
self-awareness is knowing oneself, and not as other people view me, or the perception they have about me, or what they think about me. It's me knowing myself before other people can define me. And then in the aspect of self-awareness, there is a realization that, or rather discovery, that each individual has weaknesses, each, whether they are inherent or they are acquired from the environment. That knowledge that every individual has weaknesses and strength, of course, gives the self or the individual boldness to accept themselves the way they are. So for me, I normally see self-esteem is built on proper self-awareness, proper self-knowledge, proper self-knowledge. There is a lot of correlation. And so when we are talking about self-awareness, I think it would be looking at who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a product of my past,
Yeah.
which could be very bad or very good. And the product of my past if I am not careful to note that it has influenced who I am, my attitude, my perception, where I am, if I'm not aware of that, I may be having a problem with my self-esteem. I'm also a product of my environment where I was brought up, my family. If I grew up in a family that does not speak well of me, because some weaknesses I had, maybe I was a stubborn child. So, wewe ni kisirani sana. So, I know myself a kisirani sana.
Sure.
Instead of an environment whereby they realized I was this, but they spoke and modeled me. So the environment, even in schools, they influence a lot what we think about ourselves, or what we think about ourselves. So if the environment was not positive about us, it will build in us a negative aspect about us, how we perceive ourselves, which may not be true.
Sure.
Like in schools, if a pupil was poor academically, they would be viewed as a failure. And even parents would be like, my child, I don't know. But you see, that perception makes the child feel, actually, I'm a failure, I have nothing. Now, when we are talking about self-awareness, we are talking about, let us look at who I am. Situation in business, we talk about SWOT analysis. I think in self-awareness we also have SWOT analysis.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I may add, I can say self-awareness is the mother of self-esteem. Just simplifying it in a language that everybody can understand. So there is no self-esteem minus self-awareness. Because you must understand yourself so that you can build confidence. Self-esteem is just simply the confidence in who you are, the value you have. You see, you may not, when you are comparing probably me and you may be better in some aspect in life. But and when we look like just comparison, just as human being, you'll find there are people who are lower or weaker in some things. But that will not make me feel bad because I'm lower or I'm weaker or inferior to you. But I understand I'm unique. So understanding that uniqueness and embracing it, being confident in it, that is only built when you know yourself. So the mother of self-esteem is self-awareness. Knowing yourself so that you can build confidence in what you have and in who you are.
Maybe back to you, Maggie. There is this young person who is just growing, like maybe me or another person. And I really want to have a very strong self-esteem. And even as I get towards having this strong self-esteem, I don't know how to discover myself. The other time we discussed on self-awareness, but this person really wants to have a strong self-esteem. He or she has tried, but they don't know how to get to that level whereby I'm too confident of myself. I'm having this strong self-esteem. How can this person be able now to get to that level?
What I would say about a young person, when we are growing up, we are very vulnerable.
Sure.
We feel we are not adequate. That is what characterizes teenagers and youths. And what I would say and what I know is it is acceptance is very, very key. And the next thing is knowing that we all have something, not just one, several things. You know, we are not gifted in one way, only one thing. You said you sing, eh?
Yeah, I do sing.
And professionally you're an accountant, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you do other things.
I do so.
All right? So, is starting to self-discover. In fact, when I'm talking about self-awareness, I talk about self-discovery, self-analysis in terms of what strengths do I have? Born, inherent. You know, there are people who are gifted naturally in certain areas, and all of us are. some are not obvious. So self-discovery, not other people discovering ourselves. Then the other things is looking at the weaknesses. We all have weaknesses, but there are those weaknesses that are acquired. They are acquired. And the other thing, knowledge that there is no one who is perfect. There's no one who is 100%. That one will give the youth and the teenager to accept themselves and to love themselves and to value themselves from where they are.
But now on the same, what makes us still have a low self-esteem, even when we are, we are aware, or rather when we've already discovered ourselves?
Wow. Now, before I answer that, let me say something. Another thing that will build a young person's self-esteem is now building up on what they have. When I realize I can do this and I can do that, then I become focused in building on that strength. I become objective oriented, and I'm not confused. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I can do. I can do this and that because I have this. And also celebrating others. Celebrating others is very important, and that way he will be able to rise. Now, there's something about self-esteem that those who were in the show last time, I think Gloria mentioned, self-esteem is not a constant. It's a variable. I may talk mathematically. It's a variable. Because circumstances that come to people in any stage in life, they really hit hard on self-esteem. As Gloria said, for example, when somebody loses a job and they have been having money, it's very, very intimidating. It feels very low when you are not able to meet your needs, and you have to deal with the landlord and even maybe moving to a lower end life. It's very, that works on the self-esteem of people, and especially circumstances. I have mentioned about money. Young people, teenagers and youths, when maybe a boy or a girl drops them for another, they feel they are not worthy, they miss something, right? Failure maybe in an exam, and they felt that they are capable of doing something and then they fail. They start thinking, I am the one who has failed. But I think the best thing is to separate the circumstance from the individual. The circumstance from the individual. Because the circumstance has happened, but the individual is not the circumstance. So that is what affects self-esteem as we go on in life.
Wow, that's interesting. And you see, I might be living, and I think I am aware of myself. And what are these characteristics, Isaac, of somebody with a low self-esteem? There are people who are just living, and I don't even know whether my self-esteem is down. How can I know? So that maybe it can be boosted and get to a level that it will bring much value to myself.
There are a number of characteristics that are displayed by people who have low self-esteem. But we cannot say general, like it's entirely contributed by low self-esteem. Some people are going through some stuff that is weighing them down, causing their esteem go down. Some others are probably are diseased, and the natural happenings in life that will make them to go down. So the one thing that comes with self-esteem, low self-esteem, is they tend to withdraw from where people are. They want to be alone. Why? Because they don't feel like they can measure up with other people. The other time I talked of the example of probably we were schooling together, and then it gets in life where 5 years later you're driving I talked about big machine. That is the word I used. And you come to me, and I'm still struggling with so many other things down here. I don't even have a bicycle.
Yeah.
And when we meet, you're talking about, I want to go pass by Total to fuel my car, 10,000. And I don't know how I'll get home from here. Why? I don't have even fare. 50 bob. Sina. So wewe unaongelea ma thousands. So tukitajua, like today we are talking about the taxation things. Ikitajwa, for me, like we are not in the same level.
Yeah, sure.
So whenever I see that group, I don't belong there. I don't belong. So I withdraw. And same, I think we've also grown in families. Some of us probably where you told certain foods belong to certain people. Certain dressing belong to certain people. So you have grown now in this, I don't belong to that group. So that itself, withdrawing. So there is that low, like there is poor interrelationship that you're not able to interact with people well. And then I will mention another thing, number 2, that is, and is really affecting most of the young people. A person with low self-esteem will always look for attention.
Yeah.
Attention. And this is really hitting so hard on the young people. Because today when you go to Facebook, we are looking for approvals. You go to Twitter, you post something not because it's relevant, but you're looking for likes and viewership. Now imagine that you posted something in your status or in whatever, and nobody comments. It makes you feel bad. But now that comes back, what were the intention of you posting it in there? Because if it's, you see, even what you're doing right now, probably you go to YouTube and nobody likes, you'd feel like, oh, am I doing enough, or am I benefiting somebody? But for me, it does not matter, because I know somebody is listening. They may not like it today. There may not be so much viewership. But I know whatever I'm delivering, 5 years, 10 years to come, somebody will listen and it will help them. So I'm not looking for approval from people that making me feel good. But today we are so much affected by this, and it's low self-esteem. Where you just go borrow a suit, come to studio, go photo shoot, do 1, 2, I'm in Dubai, so that people can approve. And you feel good because people are liking so much. Or you can, and today people are doing, let alone even shoot, they are walking naked for likes. Because you feel like with more likes are more acceptable in the society.
You can even make money.
You make money just for, you can do anything for approval and feel. But I think there is self-worth that we don't understand. Your value. So you are waiting for me to give you value. So when you understand your value, you don't wait for people and things to give you value, but you give things value. There are people, when they put on a cloth, it becomes a brand. That everybody is looking for that cloth. You have given the cloth the worth.
Yeah, sure.
Because ingo ilivaliwa na Laban. Ingo ilivaliwa na president. Hata ukitembea, like everybody feels ilivaliwa because uliipa jina. You gave value to that cloth. So, but today we are waiting for things to give us value. Unavaa hiyo suit ndiye kupe value. You don't have to put on a suit to give you value. You need to understand who you are. Wherever you go, you give that place light. You give that place life. You give that cloth a life and worth that everybody will want to associate with it. But you don't wait for people to approve and give you life. So that is one thing that is really affecting us as the young people and showing that we have low self-esteem.
Thank you so much. On the same, Maggie, I know you are a career person, and you've interacted with the young people in the career sector. How do you identify, you now as a lecturer, how do you identify a student who has got low self-esteem? And how, once you identify, how do you help them?
Wow.
To help them get to be aware, they become self-aware that they have this issue of low self-esteem. Once they become aware, now you work with them and you help them by the end of the day.
Let me say students who are always on the defense, or young people who are always on the defense. Those are telltale signs that this student has a problem with esteem. And so when you engage them, then you realize, oh, there are issues, then you start talking to them. But let me say that I'm not very keen. I only identify students who seems to be troublesome. They look like they are on drugs. And they don't keep their hair. They are shaggy. They are shaggy. That is a telltale sign that they have low self-esteem. They don't care. Because people with one of the things that you notice with people with low self-esteem, they don't care about how they look. They don't care. But somebody who values themselves, they even dress, they present, they speak with confidence. So, but I engage them at lessons level when we talk about self-esteem, self-awareness.
If I may add something, especially she talked about self-defense, and I remembered a friend of mine, and I'm confident to talk about her because she's changed. I had a friend of mine who, for sure, it was so hard to correct. So hard. Anytime you just sit to reason, this thing, what you're doing is not right. And you expect them to appreciate and say, okay, can you reason? Let me see. But they would stand to defend themselves. And say, you are saying this because of that. You are telling me because I don't have this. You are telling me because I cannot do this. So it becomes so hard to correct that person. So they are always defending themselves, feeling like when you are correcting them, you are attacking them. So it is so hard to correct somebody who is having so low self-esteem about who they are. Number two, again, the one character of people who have low self-esteem, they lack confidence. Confidence, even how they express themselves. They might be having an idea, but they don't know how to put it before people. They don't know how to communicate. So it's also another aspect, poor communication, poor dressing, as Mom said. The confidence is too down. Like they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to present anything. So confidence is also an aspect that characterizes such people with low self-esteem.
Okay, what about instances whereby you find an individual is judging himself or herself, always, not once, always this person is blaming themselves and judging themselves harshly. Oh, this thing happened because of ABCD, and it is something that they always say it. They are negative about themselves. Those are signs of somebody with low self-esteem. Now it's the responsibility of the other person to help them realize the value they have, bring them up by speaking, helping them to realize they have value and they are different from failures, because failure is part of life.
Now, we talked about the high and the low self-esteem, but I realized in the outside world, it's not like the people with the high self-esteem, they succeed more than the ones with the low self-esteem. Why is it that we are also having people who are also failures, not basically on education, but failures in life, but they have very high self-esteem?
Okay. I want to say that it is an advantage, a very, very great advantage for somebody to have high level of self-esteem, because failure will come, circumstances will come, but when somebody is confident about themselves, they value themselves, they regard themselves highly. They normally say, oh, this one has happened, did I contribute to it? If it is, they learn from it and they move on. And then the next time they may succeed, but they don't stay or they don't blame themselves for failure. And all those people who have succeeded in life, they have also made mistake, or they have failed. They have made attempts and failed. But you see, somebody who has very high self-esteem, they're at peace. They're at peace, whatever has come. Okay, I'm not saying that life will be, they'll always have that high esteem, but they recover very fast. They recover very fast.
Yes. You ask how comes that not all people who have high self-esteem succeed in life? That was a question, I guess. I want to say is my mom said that one, self-esteem does not contribute to 100% success. It is part. It's an item that builds success. You must combine it with some other things. You cannot just have to, like, I'm confident. Then what? You don't you don't read. You don't engage yourself with a positive activity. So yes, it's good. I can compare it with athletes who are doing 100 meters, and self-confidence or self-esteem, it puts you some meters ahead of the others. But it's not a guarantee that you're going to win the race. Somebody else can come from behind and win. So it's not, you need now, because you've been placed some meters ahead of the rest, now it's for you to put more effort to run. So it gives you an advantage to move faster. You know how to interact with people because you have self-esteem. You know how to talk to people. You know how to present your situation. You are bold about who you are and what you can do. If you sing, you give it everything that you have. So with that, then it puts you ahead of others, but it does not guarantee you the win. So you need to bring some other aspects.
Like a discipline.
You need to add the discipline, you need to add knowledge, you need to add character into it so that you can get the result that you desire to get.
Well, that's very much interesting. And maybe now if I can get to you guys, how did you identify yourself to be over high or low? If it was high, how did you improve yourself so that you can feel yourself in a different way? If I can begin with you, Maggie.
Okay, let me say, one, I learned that we are different. We are unique individuals. And therefore, I learned to celebrate others. For example, if Martin is more eloquent than me, as is, and I'm not intimidated, I celebrate him, right? And if I get a need, in any instance I need maybe the strength of that person, I'll call them in, right? And then I started looking at my strength, and I realized, you mean I have so much value. The other thing is that the storms of life.
Was there a time that you feel yourself at a low state before you began, or rather you began to feel yourself?
Oh yes, when I was young, a youth, especially, let me say I'm not very vocal. I cannot argue. I'm not good at debating and arguing. So when so I realize, I would say, like, when I'm with that people, I am not the best. You know, I'm not vocal, so I'm not the best. So I would be. But at one time, there is a lady who told me, Margaret, by the way, what did you do? I told her I did maths and physics first year, and the other 2 years I did maths. She was like, what? What? You mean you did physics? And she told me, and what are you doing? I wish I'm the one who did physics. I would have gone for a diploma at TUMS, for whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you mean I'm anything? You get? It was her observing, making me aware that I have something. Then, and then with age, you become wiser. With age, you become wise, and I think that is why it is our responsibility to talk to the young people, to tell them you are something and not dwell on the weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Isaac, did you identify yourself at an I state, or there is a time you are at a state of low self-esteem and then you rose up once you discovered yourself? Maybe.
I think I've been able to build my esteem with time gradually, and it was not easy at first. In fact, I was a very shy man, a very shy young man that I could not. I remember when I began to sing. We were a group of around teenagers. We were teenagers, around 30 young people, and I could stand behind everybody else. Just I know what to anybody to see me, and then gradually I began to stand on the mic, the backup, and I began to sing. And today I can sing before a great number of people, and not only even singing, but even speaking. And I've grown. It's a gradual thing for me, and it comes with knowledge, understanding yourself, teachings, giving some strength in who you are. And Mom talked about something, the SWOT analysis. I know we use it in business, but it's still used. It's supposed to be used everywhere. Identifying your strength. I cannot be like you. I cannot be like her. What is my strength? What can I do best? Then can I measure on that? Because if I look at you, what you can do, I'm doing unrealistic comparison. I'm not you, and I cannot be you, and I will never be you. So whatever you are doing, if I want to match myself with you, then it is wrong, because I will feel inferior, because I cannot be you. You can sing so well, I can, my voice is just bad, and it's naturally bad, and there is no moment that it will improve. But I need to sit down and analyze, what can I do? I can draw. And just like Mom said, somebody had to come and, hey, Mom, wake up. What you have is so crucial. So if I can draw and sit and somebody come and appreciate, you can draw. It gives some confidence. Kumbe naweza kuwa kitu. Kumbe people can appreciate what I have. So that alone, it comes by identifying what you can do and pursue it with all diligence. The Bible talks about that whatever your hands find to do it with all diligence. Because there is no work in the grave where you are going. So whatever you find to do it with all your might. And as you continue doing it, somebody is going to appreciate. And it's going to become a solution to the need of somebody. And that alone draws attention to you. You become a light to people who are in darkness somewhere. So that it gives you value even in the society. The value of a man is in what he can offer. So what can you offer? What can you offer? Because everybody has a seed of greatness, has a seed inside them. So can you identify that seed and become that which you are supposed to become?
Wow. This is very much interesting, guys, and thank you so much for the wisdom that you are releasing to the audience. We are very much happy that you found your time to come. We are very much happy that you are reaching to the world, and we are glad. I wish time would have allowed, we would have even gone a little bit longer. And thank you so much, our listener, our viewer. It's been great having you this evening. We are very much happy that you are finding time to listen, to share. And it's always JM Talk Forum, where we bring to you this content from Mombasa, from Kenya. And the vision is very big. The numbers running down on your screen. You can call. Maybe you have a question. There is a topic you want us to discuss about. Feel free to make a call. Feel free to drop a message. And by the end of the day, it's going to be of a great blessing to everyone. So guys, we are pretty much happy. Maybe in a second or two, we can say goodbye to the audience, even as we end the show tonight. Can begin with you, Maggie. You can address them.
Okay. What I will say is that each individual is very variable. You know, something that is treasured, it is taken care of. it is covered, it is done so many things. You yourself, you are a treasure that needs to be, you need to treasure yourself, add value. You know, after realizing you are a treasure, add value on your strength, add value on what you are, and what will happen, your self-esteem will continue to increase.
Oh, thank you so much, Isaac.
As man thinketh, so he is. So, and the enemy will always, that is, try to use your mind. The greatest attack the enemy will always do is on the mind.
Yes.
To belittle you, or to make you feel inferior.
Yeah.
But if you understand who you are, and think the good about yourself, move as you think about yourself, people outside will respect you. If I can just say something about from the Bible, we have the case of Joshua and Caleb, when Moses had sent some spies, and then they were bringing report that we went there, we found the land is good, flowing with milk and honey, as we had been promised. But there are people, giants there, and they saw us as grasshoppers. To their eyes, we looked like grasshoppers. No, the giants never told them that you're grasshoppers, but in their eyes they looked, and we look like grasshoppers. And they began to envision themselves as grasshoppers, and the fear got into them. But they took Caleb and Joshua to quiet the people and tell them, you are well able. They might be big, but the promise still stands.
Yeah.
That is people who know their origin. They know their value. They know where they are coming from. So that alone gave them confidence to face giants, to face big challenges in life. So when you understand who you are, there is no mountain that will be big for you. Pursue it, and God is going to give you victory.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac. You should not belittle yourself. You need to understand your value. You need to build yourself. You need to be strong and having a very strong self-esteem. But that is going to add in a great extent in your life. Thank you so much, our viewer. We are happy that you have found time to listen, to watch. And God bless you so much. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
A young person be consistent on a purpose.
See a person doing or behaving a certain way, it is out of information. You dress like you think. You talk like you think. Out of what is inside here, the fullness within here, that's what the mouth speaks.
Be ready to be transformed. Be ready to get something great.